Here's the PDF Skylark model, something that is very much, well, it won't go all the way down because there's a pair of wheels under the back, but they're not sprung loaded. That trailing pair of wheels just catching on something there. But you can see it's very tricky with this sort of model to get the centre of gravity over the front, and this is what I've got to try and do something about it. I've already used bits of it, as you can see, bits have been cut off. You can get this free of charge from a friendly roofer. They do weigh in the lead, but I'm sure if you explain what you want and you only need a little bit, they'll give you some. The scrap that they gave me is that much, which will see me through. It's pretty filthy, and I mean, if you want, go and buy some, but you can't buy it unless you buy a whole roll of it from the builders merchants. And I don't know what thickness it is. It's not thick, heavy stuff. This is maybe only 1.5 millimeters, if not much more than a millimeter thick. But I can cut some pieces of that and attach them as part of the buffer beam. I could just scrub it underneath there inside. I don't think I've already got some curled up inside the smoke box and boiler, but my thoughts are to just extend the buffer beam. This lead flashing that I showed you cuts very nicely with a pair of scissors like this. Pretty cheap. I think you can get a pack of 3 of these scissors for a few pounds. This is the largest of the 3 if you get a pack. It doesn't matter what the make is, you just get whatever. Crelando, that might be a Lidl or Aldi make, but they're certainly good enough for cutting lead with to take it off the sheet. That rough piece of second-hand or used lead flashing ends up looking like this. So a card template was made to match the buffer beam on the loco. 4 pieces were cut from the flashing, and I should have taken a photo to show that they were very roughly arranged. They were quite oversized, and then glued together with a contact adhesive. Oh no, the next stage was after the piece had been cut out, then they were flattened with a hammer as best I could, actually onto a piece of plywood strongly supported. And I'm not sure if you saw from the previous thing how rough it was, but I managed to bash most of the unevenness out of it first, and then they were rough, glued together with, as I say, with the contact adhesive, and then filed. So there's quite a lot of excess lead. These were all different heights and levels. The 4, you can just about see there's 4, but the filing has kind of smoothed them all together nicely. So it's got a reasonable finish on there. You can just see there's one piece in there which was a bit on the smaller side. The others were all a bit on the oversize. And you can see the markings from the vise where it's been clamped while it's been filed. It was also clamped to help with the gluing of the lead. And so now that's in a condition where I think it can be attached to the front of the loco. And with this PDF models kit, I think it should do quite nicely. If I was rebuilding it again, I would leave the front piece here off, so I can attach this behind that. But in this case, I'm just going to attach it in front of it, and we'll see how we get on. I expect it will then be much better balanced, and we won't get derailing of the front wheels as it's bouncing along the track. On the bench, that seems to have done it. So the PDF Skylark kit. Has got some lead folded up and shoved inside. This part, the smoke box and boiler are hollow, and so I've folded up some of that lead sheet that you saw, and that's been pushed inside there during the build. And now 4 layers of lead flashing glued together and screwed onto the front has brought the centre of gravity somewhere nearer to being halfway between the 2 wheels. So it will balance somewhere. If I put my fingers either side on the plates, running board, then it does balance about there. So it's not, previously it was balancing way back on that first wheel almost. Now it's brought it forwards. So a better balanced loco, quite a heavy, much heavier loco now, so it's going to have good traction, and that will paint up quite nicely for the buffer beam on the front, and I've drilled it through there, so it will take a centre buffer to improve the look of it, and we've got our loco.